Hello there, you guys. Welcome to another one of my live videos. And today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current latest news. So if you do consider drop your likes, and if you do consider subscribe to the channel as always. So on this video today, there's lots to talk about on this video. But the first topic of the development is in relation to Paul Pogba, of course, as I have been updating you on a regular basis. Of course, Manchester United, got great news yesterday morning, as it did confirm that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is Manchester United manager on a full-time basis. Of course, it is a 3-year contract term is currently signed. So hopefully now in this 3-year period, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can elevate Manchester United, to that next level and get us back being a competitive elite level of football club. It is around 7 million. His annual wage is around 7 million a year. Is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So obviously it's a massive wage increase, compared to what he was on at Mold, because he was only on like £400,000 per year with Mold as well. But I did say, he deserves a job on a full-time basis, does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Of course, it's been a fantastic experience for him so far, working amongst the coaching staff, the players and all that as well. And he has rejuvenated the team fantastically well, winning our first 8 games when he came in. We've won 14 out of 19 in all competitions as well. But reportedly, we're going to get around over £200 million to spend this summer. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been obviously in regular contact with Ed Woodward. Ed Woodward, what players should come in, and what players should leave Manchester United in the summer, of course, as well. Obviously, now we want to hire a director of football, to come in before the end of the season, of course, as well. But I think Solskjaer wants to get about 3 or 4 players this summer, of course, as well. There's still some contract renewals to sort out as well. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's following Alex Ferguson's philosophy. He's brought the fear factor back to the club, because since Alex Ferguson left Manchester United, of course, after 26, 27 years, of course, obviously, we've been playing catch-up for 5 years. We've had different managers, with different philosophies, of course. We know a lot of money has been invested, of course. We've spent about 700-800 million pounds, but we've seen players come in, and, we've seen players go and all that as well. So now, since Alex Ferguson, this is our 4th permanent manager, of course, well. So obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first game as permanent manager is obviously tomorrow against Watford at Old Trafford, and this is going to be a challenge for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and it is essential that he does get the right players to Manchester United this summer. He has identified, the key areas where he does think Manchester United, of course, need to strengthen up as well. So he's in the process of rebuilding this Manchester United team, of course, and obviously, he wants to buy into our history, because we didn't, spend any money in the January transfer window, of course, as well. So it is essential that we get the right players in the summer, so we can be a competitive elite level football club for next season. Hopefully, we can be title contenders for next season as well. So obviously, we want to have a competitive summer transfer window, and it's very, very essential that, Manchester United, of course, either get the top 4 this season, so we can get Champions League for next season, or, try and win the Champions League, of course, as well. But yeah, definitely Solskjaer the right man for Manchester United. Obviously, if he does well in this 3-year period, of course, he'll plan for a long tenure as Manchester United manager, because he hasn't really had a long tenure at the moment as manager. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of course, he had the long tenure as a player. He spent 11 years at Old Trafford as a player, won a lot of trophies, scored 126 goals in 366 appearances in all competitions. One of his most iconic moments, as a player, was in 1999, of course, as well, when he scored the late winner against Bayern Munich at the new camp, of course, as well. So hopefully, Solskjaer, can elevate us to a higher level, as I currently said. But as they currently say, obviously now with Solskjaer being appointed Manchester United manager on a full-time basis, could it possibly make Paul Pogba stay? Could it possibly maybe make Ander Herrera stay and all that? But the reports are still persisting in relation to Paul Pogba. Now I want to give you a current update on. So there's been a lot of news, going out about Pogba. Reports have been coming out from Spain that reportedly, Paul Pogba has made a decision on his Manchester United future, and reportedly he doesn't intend, to spend the rest of his playing career in England, of course, as well. And I think Paul Pogba is actually, pushing for the move to Real Madrid, of course, as well. So I think he wants to leave Manchester United, does Paul Pogba, because as you have all noticed, what he said, he said a lot about Real Madrid and all that, saying it's a dream, to play for them and that. He said he said Real Madrid is one of the biggest clubs in the world, and he said Real Madrid is a dream for anyone, and he's described Real Madrid as a dream club, as Paul Pogba. Of course, I think his agent, Riley is in the process of finding Paul Pogba a new club as well. But I think Manchester United are, standing firm, and we are reluctant to let him leave this summer. So if any offers do come for Pogba this summer, Manchester United, won't accept them reportedly as well. So reportedly we'll reject any offers that come for him, and we'll reject any offers that come for him. But Manchester United, of course, paid around £89 million for Paul Pogba back in 2016. So this is third season now at Manchester United, of course, as well. As I did currently say, we've seen the best of Paul Pogba, within this 3-month period under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of course, as well. No. We've seen the best of Paul Pogba in this 3 month period. So under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's been performing very very well. He's been scoring, he's been providing, and all that as well as Paul Pogba. And he's still under contract with Manchester United till 2021, of course, as well. Recent reports do say he has turned down a contract offer from Manchester United as Paul Pogba as well. There's also been talks that he could make a return back to Italy, of course, where he did have 4 good years with Juventus, of course, as well. But now reports are coming out saying that reportedly Real Madrid are preparing to offer up to £125 million for Paul Pogba. Reportedly, Paul Pogba's basically said that he wants an annual wage of around 14 million if he is to make the move to Real Madrid. So potentially this would make Paul Pogba, the highest paid player, of course, in the Real Madrid team. If Real Madrid are willing to give him 14 million a year annual wage, of course, as well. So this is what reportedly Paul Pogba is demanding, of course, as well. So he's demanding a significant pay rise, of course, as well. But recent reports have revealed, guys, that reportedly Paul Pogba wants to leave Manchester United this summer, even though he did initially say that he remains happy at Manchester United, for the time being, of course, as well. But he is heavily linked to a move to Real Madrid, as we all know. As I did say, if Jose Mourinho would have still been here, Paul Pogba would have left, because obviously Paul Pogba's relationship with Jose Mourinho was very, very bad indeed. But obviously, as I did currently say, Zinedine Zidane, obviously, he's getting a spending spree this summer. I think he's going to get around £300 million to spend this summer. I think Zinedine Zidane is giving him Florentino Perez is giving Zinedine Zidane this spending spree, and he's got a few, targets. He's interested in Zinedine Zidane, of course, as well, because he's planning for investment in that Real Madrid squad this summer, of course, as well. And one of his targets is potentially Paul Pogba, and I think, Zinedine Zidane, does admire, Paul Pogba, to be quite honest with you. I think it'd probably cost Real Madrid, more than 125 million. If Man United, decide to put him up for sale. But I don't think Man United will let Paul Pogba leave this summer, because he's been in absolutely scintillating form, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come in. He's been getting the freedom to express himself. He's been very, very good in the air, of course, as well. So he has been playing really, really well indeed. And Zinedine Zidane's obviously got a contract with Madrid till 2022. This is his second spell now in charge of Real Madrid, of course, as well. But reportedly, Paul Pogba does want to leave Manchester United this summer, reportedly as well. So there's still reports going on about it, and reports are saying that Real Madrid are preparing to put in £125 million for him this summer, of course, as well. And obviously last year was obviously, I think Barcelona would interest him. Obviously there were talks about him, going back to Juventus, of course, as well. So as I did give you an update on yesterday, guys, as I did currently tell you, obviously Solskjaer, I think, has told the board his top 3 targets reportedly as well. So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has reportedly told Ed Woodward that he wants Crystal Palace's Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he wants West Ham's Declan Rice, and he wants Borussia Dortmund's Jadon Sancho. And reportedly they are Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's top 3 targets, and reportedly he's told Ed Woodward, to go get them 3. Reports do say they could cost a total of £170 million, reportedly, as well. So Solskjaer wants 3 of England's hottest prospects this summer, of course, as well. And they're all young, of course. Aaron Wan-Bissaka is a right back, and he's 21 years of age. Declan Rice can be a centre back, but I think he's more of a holding defensive midfielder, to be quite honest with you. He's 20 years of age, as I said, Declan Rice. And Jadon Sancho, of course, Borussia Dortmund, 21 years of age, and of course a right winger as well. And I think that's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's priority, to get a right winner to Manchester United this summer. Recent reports did say he wasn't too interested in buying any defenders this summer, because he wants to give our current defenders, a chance to impress and prove themselves, and all that. But I think Solskjaer is keen on adding a central midfielder. He wants to add an addition in midfield. I think he wants to get a right winger in. I think he's interested in getting a right back in, of course, as well. But we all know that Manchester United, of course, do need a central defender. I think we're okay on the left-hand side, because obviously the majority of our attack is coming from that left-hand side, of course, as well. So reportedly we want the upcoming futures, the England's upcoming futures of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Declan Rice, and Jadon Sancho. And reportedly they are our 3 top targets reportedly as well. And Aaron Wan-Bissaka, there's been a lot of talk, going on about him, that Manchester United have showed an interest in him. I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Declan Rice, and Jadon Sancho, I've got the ability to elevate Manchester United forward in the next 2 or 3 years, or something like that, if we were to get them this summer, of course, as well. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, obviously, so far, is still very, very young. He has spent, the entirety of his career at Crystal Palace at the moment, but he's only 21 years of age. Obviously, risen up their youth system and all that. I think he joined their academy at the age of 11, did Aaron Wan-Bissaka, of course, as well. And he is a right back, is this player. I think his defensive capabilities are very, very good. He made his senior debut for Crystal Palace in February of last year, of course, as well. I think reportedly he's valued at around £40 million, is Aaron Wan-Bissaka, but potentially I do think we need someone young and ambitious on that right-hand side, to be quite honest, because obviously at right back, obviously, we've got Ashley Young, who's obviously by the time his 1 year contract extension expires, he'll be nearly 35 years of age. And over the years, he has been essential. And obviously, we know he's still our first choice right back, and he's this is 7th or 8th season now as a Manchester United player. Of course, he's won everything here domestically, but he has passed it now as Ashley Young. Obviously, as well, Valencia right back. Obviously, he's on his way out of Manchester United this summer after we opted against that decision, to give him, that new 1 year extension. Of course, well, he comes to an end of his contract at the end of this season. Does Antonio Valencia as well, and this is 10th season now in the process with Man United, and he's made over 300 odd appearances in all competitions as well. So I do think, honestly, that Aaron Wan-Bissaka is an upgrade, to Ashley Young and Valencia, of course, as well. So reportedly, he's one of our priority targets is Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And another one, obviously, is Declan Rice of West Ham, 20 years of age. Reportedly this season, he's had a really, really good season with West Ham this season. He actually can play as a centre-back, but I think he's actually more of a defensive midfielder. And I did actually say, I'm keen on Manchester United, getting a centre defensive midfielder, that's fast and tenacious and all that as well, because obviously we're talking Fellaini leave in January. Obviously, we know Matic, even though his performances, have improved mainly under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's distribution's improved. He's looked more effective in his passing, but we still have reservations about him because he is very, very slow. Is the Nemanja Matic, of course. So potentially, I do think we do need a centre defensive midfielder. And obviously, Declan Rice can play as a CDM, of course. Declan Rice is only young, of course. He's only 20 years of age. He has still got a lot of years ahead of him, to be quite honest with you as well. He has got a contract with West Ham until 2024 as Declan Rice as well. I think his defensive capabilities are supposed to be very, very good indeed, but reportedly he's had a breakthrough season this season with West Ham, of course, as well. And I think he's valued around £40 million, is Declan Rice, of course, as well. So his name's also being mentioned in the media. Obviously, we know the club's #1 priority target for this summer, of course, is Borussia Dortmund's Jadon Sancho. Now, we know he's young and ambitious. We know we need someone on that right-hand side, that can play between the bylines, put them crosses into the box. And I think Jadon Sancho, would be the perfect candidate, in my opinion, to be quite honest with you. Manchester United, of course, have been heavily linked with Jadon Sancho. Obviously, he's one of England's youngest upcoming futures as well as Jadon Sancho. And obviously, we know that obviously it may cost Manchester United up to £100 million in the region. So potentially this would make him the most expensive English footballer ever. And Borussia Dortmund could demand that they want around £100 million. Manchester United, still may believe that we can land him for around £80 million, Jadon Sancho, of course, as well. But there's been a narrative going about for the last 4 or 5 weeks, that Manchester United, are heavily linked with Borussia Dortmund's Jadon Sancho. He's been at Dortmund a couple of years now, and his performances in Germany have just been absolutely fantastic indeed. Obviously, he's had experience of playing in English football because he did have a couple of years with Manchester City, of course, but he never got into their first team. He never played regularly in their first team. He never played in the first team, should I say, Jadon Sancho. He never got guaranteed to play regularly. And this is the main reason he left City and went to Borussia Dortmund, of course. Borussia Dortmund paid just £8 million in from Manchester City a couple of years ago. And a couple of years ago, I think Manchester United, were interested in Jadon Sancho. Then he's still got a contract with Dortmund till 2022, as we all know as well. Recent reports did say Borussia Dortmund have ruled out, selling Jadon Sancho, of course, as well. But as I did say, Borussia Dortmund, have been known, for doing business with their players. So reportedly, it could cost Man United at least in the region of £80 million to convince Borussia Dortmund, to sell him this summer, of course, as well. But I think it's the club's #1 priority target. So Solskjaer's basically told Ed Woodward his 3 top targets. And he wants Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Declan Rice, and he wants Jadon Sancho, of course, as well. And I do like Jadon Sancho. He shows that ability to attack. He can score goals. He can provide, as he has shown. And as he has shown, with Borussia Dortmund, and I think he complement our team, fantastically well. And I think he's attracted interest, from quite a few teams across Europe, of course, well. And obviously, if we got him, he'd be our most expensive signing as well. But we have got the financial power, to meet Jadon Sancho's valuation, of course, as well. Considering, that we didn't spend any money in the January window. So it's essential that we get our priority targets this summer, because obviously last summer we didn't get our priority targets, that Manchester United, wanted to get in, of course, as well. So the 3 top targets as it stands at the moment is Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Declan Rice and Jadon Sancho, and reports do say they could cost a total of around £170 million. And I think we're going to get around 200 or is it £250 million to spend this summer, because we have got a board, that can invest, over who Solskjaer, wants to bring in to Manchester United, of course, as well. But other players, that Manchester United have been interested in, as they have been giving you an update on. Obviously, we'd love to get Koulibaly to Manchester United, of course, as well. And we do need someone in that defensive line, of course, we do need someone that, that can partner alongside Victor Lindelof, to be quite honest, because Lindelof's performances have really improved this season, showing that ability to play off the back. He gallops forward very well, does Victor Lindelof, of course, as well. And, if Manchester United, are to bring a new centre-back in this summer, and I do think probably Marcus Rojo will leave Manchester United, to be quite honest with you. I think Solskjaer did say he wants to sell 3 players this summer. I think Marcus Rojo is one of them as well. Obviously, Valencia is obviously one of them, but I think Marcus Rojo has just recovered from a long-term absence. He's enjoyed a very difficult time as a Manchester United player because he has had a string of injuries as Marcus Rojo as well. So I think he could be on his way out of Manchester United this summer. Could Marcus Rojo as well. Eric Bailly's future still uncertain with Manchester United. We've had him here since 2016. Eric Bailly's obviously been in and out of the team, this season as well, because obviously since Chris Smalling has recovered from injury, obviously Solskjaer's been going with Smalling and Lindelof as centre-back partnership. It's quite fair, they've blended in fantastically well of Chris Smalling and Victor Lindelof, of course, as well. But the most essential thing is we need someone that can partner alongside Victor Lindelof. And I know a lot of United fans, would like to recommend, Koulibaly, to come in. We do know it's going to cost us staggering amounts of money. Obviously, we've got to break our transfer record. Obviously, we've got to make him the most expensive defender in world football, of course, as well. So recent reports did say in relation to Koulibaly that reportedly Manchester United have been informed, that Napoli would want around at least in the excess of at least £130 million. If Napoli are willing to do any business for Koulibaly this summer, of course, as well. And Manchester United, of course, have been long admirers of Koulibaly. We'll link to him back in January. We'll link to him last summer as well. And obviously, he's been our top priority target, in them 2 windows, of course, as well. And reportedly, will cost in the excess of at least £130 million. Will Koulibaly, but he'd address our defensive deficiencies, fantastically well. He's good in the air, shows that ability to play out from the back. His defensive capabilities, very good indeed. And I think him and Lindelof, would look very good. He'd be a good leader in our back line, of course. He's got a contract still with Napoli till 2023. He's still, 27 years of age. He's still got a lot of years ahead of him as Koulibaly, as we all know as well. But Napoli, paid £7 million for him from Genk, as we all know, back in 2014. So he has been at Napoli a number of years now, and he has grown, developed and flourished, fantastically well, indeed. And obviously his performances under Maurizio Sarri were very good. Now his performances under Ancelotti are very good indeed. So potentially Manchester United still may go in for him in the summer, of course, as well. But I do really highly rate him. All right.
That doesn't need to be on. Open your blinds, it's daytime.
But as I was saying, guys, yes, I was just drinking my drink. I do apologise about that. So yeah, Manchester United have been heavily linked with Koulibaly, but we do know there's other defenders, that Manchester United have also been interested in. We do know that Leicester's Harry Maguire has also been a potential Manchester United target as well. But reports have been recently coming out about Harry Maguire that obviously Leicester wouldn't want to sell him this summer, of course. Obviously, recent reports have basically said that Manchester United, we will have to break our transfer record, and of course we'll have to make him the most expensive defender in world football if Manchester United have got any chances signing Harry Maguire this summer. Reports do currently say that Leicester are demanding, if they are to do any business, that they want around £90 million in the region for Harry Maguire. Initially was valued at around 65 or was it £75 million, but reports do say Leicester have risen their price tag for Harry Maguire, of course, as well. But he was talking about, before that, he dreams about, he wants to, play in Champions League football, go to a team that's capable of winning trophies, go to a team as well, that's capable of challenging for trophies and all that, and, playing to the highest level, of course, as well. Harry Maguire, obviously, signed a new 5-year deal with Leicester last season. He is under contract with Leicester till 2023, of course, as well. His performances for Leicester have been very good this season, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. But reportedly, Manchester United, were heavily linked to him last summer. Of course, we were linked with a host of defenders last summer, but obviously when we had Mourinho last summer, he didn't get his priority targets. The board weren't backing his signings, that he wanted to get in, of course, well. And obviously, Leicester were reluctant, to let Harry Maguire leave Leicester were reluctant to let Harry Maguire leave last summer, of course, as well. So if a centre-back is to leave Manchester United, maybe Manchester United, could possibly go in for Harry Maguire. But recent reports have said that Leicester want around 90 million. Manchester United are capable of also, doubling his current wages as well. But he has been at Leicester a couple of seasons now. Obviously, when he was younger, obviously, back in the day when he was at Hull City, I think Manchester United were interested in him then. He's 26 years of age, so Harry Maguire, has still got a lot of years ahead of him, as we all know. Kind of Premier League proven, of course. He is English as well. And Solskjaer's keen on bringing English players, to Manchester United, because the three top targets have said Aaron Wan-Bissaka's English, Declan Rice is English, Jadon Sancho's English, of course, as well. But Harry Maguire has been a potential target, as we all know, as well. So Manchester United, have been linked, with a host of defenders, as we all currently know. Reports are now coming out about Callum Hudson-Odoi, as a lot of people, would have been giving you an update on him. As recent reports, were suggesting out, that Manchester United reportedly, entered the race for Callum Hudson-Odoi, and Manchester United, had expressed an interest, on Callum Hudson-Odoi, the Chelsea wonder kid again, English, only 18 years of age, of course, one of the upcoming futures, of course, well, Callum Hudson-Odoi. Reports are now saying that reportedly Chelsea, are reluctant, to let Callum Hudson-Odoi leave. Reports are now saying that reportedly Chelsea are ready to offer him a new contract worth around £100,000 a week. Reportedly, to convince him to stay at Chelsea, because obviously Chelsea wouldn't want him to leave in the summer. Especially with that transfer ban, they've currently got, so they can't do any transfer activity in the next couple of windows. Chelsea, of course, as well. So obviously Chelsea wouldn't want to lose any players this summer, of course, as well. I think Bayern Munich are still, the front runners, to possibly, land Callum Hudson-Odoi, because obviously Bayern Munich will have had their interest in Callum Hudson-Odoi this summer. Obviously Bayern Munich had a host of bids, turned down for Callum Hudson-Odoi, back in the January window. Obviously it was Bayern Munich's top priority target, of course, as well. It did say Bayern Munich, were willing to offer him, the number 10 shirt, of course, as well, Callum Hudson-Odoi. And actually Callum Hudson-Odoi, put a transfer request in, back in the January transfer window, of course, as well, because potentially he did want to leave, but obviously Chelsea were in the process of trying to get him a new contract. It still indicates that he's nowhere near in the process of signing a new contract, but he is still under contract with Chelsea till 2020. But he's got strong reservations about his game time, Callum Hudson-Odoi. He's yet to start a Premier League game this season under Maurizio Sarri and all that, but he has been playing in the cup competitions and all that, as Callum Hudson-Odoi, of course, as well. But Bayern Munich, are set to revive their interest in Callum Hudson-Odoi this summer. I think Chelsea are willing, to negotiate. If any team are willing to, offer around £43 million, because that's reportedly, Chelsea's asking price, of course, as well. But as I did quickly say, guys, I think Bayern Munich are still, the front runners, to get him. It's also said that Liverpool have entered negotiations. Liverpool have held talks, with Callum Hudson-Odoi's agent, over a summer transfer, of course, as well. So Liverpool have been interested. I think he said Dortmund have been interested, as well. So he's expected interest, from quite a few teams as Callum Hudson-Odoi. And he may want to go to another club, to get, first team football, week in, week out. And of course, Callum Hudson-Odoi, hasn't been getting this at Chelsea as well. But recent reports did say, that Manchester United had showed an interest in Callum Hudson-Odoi, of course, as well. And I also want to give you an update on, as I've been updating you on, is in relation to Bruno Fernandes. Now, I've been keeping you up to date on Bruno Fernandes, of course, as well, because Manchester United have reportedly, showed a strong interest in Bruno Fernandes. Reports came out from Portugal, I think it was last month sometime, saying that Manchester United, had made contact, with Bruno Fernandes' representatives, regarding a summer transfer, reportedly. The last time I heard about it, recent reports did say Sporting Lisbon, have got some kind of financial problems, so it did say Manchester United, could land him in a cut price transfer this summer, reportedly, as well, Bruno Fernandes. I think it recently said he's attracted interest from Liverpool, as well as Bruno Fernandes. He's, 24 years of age. He's Portuguese, of course, as well. I think he's been at Sporting Lisbon a couple of seasons now, but he actually did spend the entirety of his playing career. Majority of his playing career in Italy, because obviously, he used to be at Underneath. He used to be at Sampdoria, and all that, as well. And Sporting Lisbon paid around £8 million for him from Sampdoria, of course. I think he has got a huge. I think he has got a 90 million release clause, or something like. I think he's got a 90 million release clause in his deal with Sporting Lisbon, as well. Is this Bruno Fernandes? So reportedly Manchester United have been interested in him, of course. Solskjaer's keen on bringing a central midfielder in, as we all know, as well. I think he's still under contract with Sporting Lisbon till 2023 as his player, as well. But Manchester United have also, showed an interest in him, as well. And of course, guys, as we all currently know, as well as give you an update on it in relation to Philippe Coutinho. Now, there's still, a lot of rumours going on, that he could reportedly, leave Barcelona this summer. Reports have just basically said that reportedly Philippe Coutinho, has told his Brazil teammates that reportedly he's considering leaving Barcelona this summer because he's really failed to make an impact, as Philippe Coutinho. He hasn't fitted under Barcelona's system, of course, as Philippe Coutinho. Of course, he's been at Barcelona, just over a year. Of course, I think he's been at Barcelona about 14 months, is it now, or something like that as well. But he's been very inconsistent. When he has been given the chance, he's lacked game time. He hasn't been playing regularly, of course, as well. So this is why there's been strong speculation of Coutinho leaving this summer. There's been talks, at Man United back in January and all that. Held negotiations with Coutinho's representatives and all that. But I don't think Manchester United are keen on signing Philippe Coutinho, of course, as well. And Barcelona will, recouped the initial £142 million they paid for him from Liverpool in January of last year, of course, as well. But he's been very disappointing, in Spain, as Philippe Coutinho. And that's why there's been rumours of Coutinho leaving Barcelona, potentially. There has been talks that he could come back to the Premier League, of course, as well, Philippe Coutinho. But I still think he's got a long contract, with Barcelona, of course, as well. But he did have 5 great years with Liverpool, when he was at Liverpool. So in that aspect, he is Premier League proven because he did really well at Liverpool. He grew, developed, and he flourished fantastically well. I think he's still 26 years of age, is Coutinho. He's still got a lot of years ahead of him. Of course, he's Brazilian, as we all know, as well. But I'm not keen on Manchester United, going in for him in the summer. Even though it did say a while back, he spoke to some Manchester United players, regarding the move to Manchester United this summer. And reportedly, he said it before he's keen on making a return to the Premier League, of course, as well. But there has been rumours that he's been linked to a move to Old Trafford, but he's not a priority target for Manchester United, of course, as well, because we're not keen on getting Philippe Coutinho in, of course, even though we have been hearing the rumours, of course. Obviously, we do expect players, to leave Manchester United this summer, as I've already said. Valencia's on his way out. Probably Rojo will go in this summer. I think Sanchez is definitely on his way out of Manchester United, as well. And he's been here, just over a year now, of course. And he's been very inconsistent as a Manchester United player, when he has been given the opportunity, Alexis Sanchez, when he has been playing, he's just looked so restricted. It just looks as though he hasn't been getting that freedom. And he hasn't settled in as a Manchester United player, as we all know. And he has lost that yard of pace. He is age 30 now, so obviously he's aging up and he's not playing to the highest level anymore. But he has been a huge disappointment. And, he's suffered, quite a few injuries, as a man since he's come to United. He's been here, just over a year. He's obviously out now with a knee injury. I think he's set to return, recover from this injury, sometime in April next month, of course, as well. But Sanchez has been very disappointing indeed. And obviously it's going to be hard to find a buyer for him, considering his substantial wages. He's on, obviously, over £500,000 a week, is it, as we all currently know, as well. But I think he's definitely on his way out of Manchester United, is Alexis Sanchez, of course. So we may consider loaning him out, or maybe Sanchez, may agree, to take some kind of wage cut or something like that as well. And so we know Manchester United are back in action tomorrow against Watford, Old Trafford. Obviously, it's not on live, so I'll have to try and catch up with the highlights. As we all know, it's a 3 o'clock kickoff. As we all know, Old Trafford, Manchester United versus Watford. Obviously, we've got to try and get back to winning ways after suffering back-to-back defeats, before the international break, of course, as well, to Wolves and Arsenal, suffering back-to-back defeats. But we've only lost 1 game in the Premier League, as we all know. We've lost 3 in all competitions, of course, as well. So, it's not, I'm not going to underestimate Watford, because Watford have been in really good form, especially under Javier Gracie, of course. They've progressed to the FA Cup semi-final, of course, as well. So Watford's perspective, that'll be on their mind more than this game tomorrow for them, of course, as well. Obviously, Watford are sitting 8th in the Premier League, of course, as well. They're sitting 8th in the Premier League. We've won our last 4 meetings against Watford, of course, as well. Which is good. I think last time lost to Watford was back in 2016. We lost 3-1 at Vicarage Road, as well. This fixture, of course, was 1-0 last season to Manchester United, 2-1 earlier on in the season at Vicarage Road, of course, as well. So potentially, so hopefully Manchester United, can get back to winning ways against Watford as well. So it's not on, it's a 3 o'clock kickoff, as we all currently know. After Watford, we go to Wolves 3 days later, of course, as well. The good news is going into this Watford game, Man United have got a host of players, coming back from injury as well, which is very good. I think it's about 8 players, that are coming back as well. Obviously, quite a few players, had to, withdraw from international duty. Obviously Rashford did, Luke Shaw did, Matic did, Martial did, Lukaku and that did. But I think, like, I don't know about Lukaku if he can feature, because obviously Lukaku's obviously, been out with an ankle injury, as we all know, and I think he's still got this ankle injury. So I think he is a major doubt for tomorrow. I might be wrong. Some reports saying he's a doubt. Some reports saying he could, play in the game or at least be involved. I'm not too sure, to be quite honest with you as well. But he's sustained this ankle injury against PSG. I think Lingard's available, to play as well, which is very, very good. We know Valencia, Bay, and Darmian are all available as well. But it's obviously unlikely that trio trio, will play as well, because obviously Valencia, I don't think Valencia will be playing, Bay won't be playing, and I don't think Darmian will be playing in the game as well. But they are available, of course, as well. So the good news is we've got, a host of players, coming back into action, which is very, very good indeed. But the main part of this video is I wanted to give you an update on what's going on with Paul Pogba. And as I have been updating you about Paul Pogba on a regular basis, guys, of course, as well. Obviously now reports saying that obviously Real Madrid are preparing to put £125 million bid in for him, of course, in the next couple of months, in the summer, of course, as well. It's probably, Man United, he's not even for sale, Paul Pogba, because Man United, if any offers come for him this summer, Manchester United reportedly have said, we're going to turn down any offers, if any offers, do come for Paul Pogba this summer, because Manchester United, of course, don't want to lose him. But obviously from Paul Pogba's perspective, what he's been saying about Madrid and all that, saying that, he wants to leave Manchester United basically, and he's intending on making the move to Real Madrid this summer. And Real Madrid are the front runners to get him, of course, as well. There's been talks about him possibly making a return back to Juventus and all this as well. So you've seen the best of Paul Pogba in this three months or so period. He's been really, really good indeed. And I want him to stay at Manchester United. I want us to try and come to an agreement to get him a new contract, of course. We still know he's got over 2 years left on his contract. When the summer comes, obviously, it'll be exactly, 2 years then left on his deal. So potentially, hopefully somewhere online, we can come to an agreement getting him a new contract. Obviously now with Solskjaer getting the job permanently, because could this possibly, change Paul Pogba's mind, that he wants to remain loyal to Manchester United, of course, as well. So there's been a lot of talks, going on about that as well. We paid £89 million for him, of course. He's our most expensive signing. His agent Mariola's obviously been in he's been in the process of, trying to find Paul Pogba a new club, as well, as he did basically say. But he has said a lot, regarding Real Madrid. It's a dream, and he dreams playing under Zinedine Zidane at Madrid, and all this. So obviously that just, indicates, that he's obviously not planning to spend the rest of his playing career in England, of course, well. So I think he's up for a new challenge. He's Paul Pogba, of course, well. He's still 26, so he has still got a lot of years ahead of him. When he's been playing fantastic under Solskjaer. When he's playing his kind of vein, he's one of the best midfielders in world football, without a shadow of a doubt, indeed. But obviously Real Madrid want investment in their squad this summer, as we all know, as well. But as I did say, it was good news, of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, getting appointed Manchester United, manager, full time yesterday. We know it's a 3-year deal. It's about $7 million a year. He's getting as well as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but it's a massive wage increase compared to what he was on at Mould, because he was on like 400,000 a year with Mould. Obviously, he's receiving about half of the wage, than what currently Jose Mourinho was on, because obviously Jose Mourinho was on about 15 million a year, of course, when he was here. But Solskjaer's very, very delighted, that he's got the job on a full-time basis. I think he can command this team forward. He can get us back to being a competitive elite level football club. And he can get us back to how we was under Alex Ferguson, of course, as well. But the major thing is, the test now is for the remainder of this season for him. Obviously, it's very, very essential that we get the right players to come to Manchester United in the summer as well. That's the most essential thing. And hopefully next season, Manchester United, can be up there challenging, of course, as well, as I wanted to currently say. But I think we're going to get over £200 million to spend this summer. As I did say to you, there's still some contract renewals to sort out as well, but nothing much more in the process as updated on that as well. But the majority of the teams really, really improved, as I currently said. I think the only consistent one is being obviously Alexis Sanchez, but you can see the vast improvements in Solskjaer's coming. Manchester United, of course, are creating more chances. Defensively, we've improved as well, even though we do still leak a lot of chances, of course, but we've got to address that problem in the summer. We are getting defenders that are willing to play out from the back, which is good. Fullbacks pressing high up the pitch, as front men no longer look isolated, of course, as well. And we're scoring more goals, and, Solskjaer has brought that brand of football. Solskjaer has brought that brand of football, to Manchester United, that we had under Alex Ferguson, of course, as well. So Solskjaer's style of play is just, is absolutely identical, to Alex Ferguson's, of course, as well. as you did there the other day, Louis van Gaal, coming out in the press, saying that, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer parks the bus, like, Jose Mourinho did. So he's saying Ole Gunnar Solskjaer parks the bus and plays defensive, like Jose Mourinho did, and all this is what basically, Louis van Gaal had currently said. So he's just talking total nonsense, to be quite honest here as well. What he's saying is Louis van Gaal basically said Manchester United, played defensive, counter-attacking football, and this is what, Louis van Gaal had currently said. But yeah, Solskjaer definitely the right man for Manchester United, of course. Maybe some people may think, it's a mistake, that we've done this. Maybe some people, may have said, wait until the end of the season. But I wanted it appointed as soon as possible, to be quite honest, because he's done more than enough, to get the job on a full-time basis at Manchester United, of course, as well. But I just wanted to give you an update. As I did say, I was going to update you on a lot of other things as well. But the main part of this video is in relation to Paul Pogba, of course, as well. So reportedly Real Madrid are preparing an £125 million bid for him, reports are saying, this summer, of course. But Man United will not let him go, even though from his perspective he wants to leave, of course, as well. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel.